If, after a narcissist, you can't even do the dishes, watch this now. Have you ever felt so drained after a relationship with a narcissist that even the simplest tasks, like doing the dishes or tidying up your home, seem overwhelming? You look around and everything feels heavy, pointless, and impossible to tackle. You might be wondering, what's happening to me? Why does even the most mundane action feel like climbing a mountain? If this resonates with you, stay with us until the end of this video, because you're not alone in understanding what has happened. You're in the right place to find real answers and concrete solutions. This is the channel for solutions, guiding you to rediscover who you truly are and to choose yourself, no matter what. If this is your first time listening to us and you feel deeply touched by these words, subscribe now to Chosen One's Awakening. But if you're not ready to choose yourself, if you just want to listen out of curiosity or remain stuck in pain, then don't subscribe. It would be pointless to know without taking action. Continuing to suffer without making a move makes no sense. This isn't just about listening. It's about taking the first real step to free yourself from that toxic relationship with the narcissist, to stop enduring manipulation and narcissistic abuse, and finally, to be reborn. When even doing the dishes becomes impossible. Have you ever found yourself sitting on the couch, staring at the dirty dishes in the sink, and feeling like every little action weighs on you, as if you had to lift the whole world? It's not laziness. It's not listlessness. It's the devastating effect of a toxic relationship with a narcissist. When you live too long next to someone who manipulates you, humiliates you, drains you, your mind and body stop working as they used to. You feel powerless, unmotivated, lifeless. And do you know what the most painful thing is? That no one around you really understands what you're going through. You feel alone, misunderstood, as if you were the problem. You feel ashamed because you can't even do what used to be easy. Clean the house, prepare a meal, make the bed. But you're not the problem. It's what's been done to you. Narcissism is like an invisible toxin. It infiltrates every part of your life, poisons your thoughts, destroys your self-esteem, confuses your mind. And even when the relationship ends, that toxin remains inside you. It prevents you from reacting, from regaining control, from feeling alive. This is why the first step is not washing the dishes or tidying up the house. The first step is cleaning inside, cleansing your mind, your heart, your soul from all the emotional dirt that has been poured on you. And you can't do this alone, because no one heals from a trauma simply by thinking positively. You need tools, awareness, a true path of liberation. Because real change doesn't start at home. It starts from inside you. A narcissist drains you, but you can take back control. Anyone who has been with a narcissist for too long knows that feeling of emptiness that creeps in day after day. It's as if someone has sucked the life force out of you, leaving you an empty shell, unable to find meaning even in the simplest things. You look around and every daily gesture becomes an insurmountable obstacle. Washing the dishes, tidying the house, even getting out of bed. Why does this happen? Because narcissism is not just toxic behavior. It is an invisible poison that alters your thoughts, your emotions, your perception of yourself. It takes away your ability to choose, to desire, to act. And when you finally manage to get out of that destructive relationship, you find yourself stuck in an internal silence that paralyzes you. You feel guilty for not being able to do what seems normal to others. You wonder what is wrong with you, why you can't react, why everything seems so heavy. Yet, inside you, even if buried under layers of pain, that spark still exists. That part of you that has never died, that is just waiting to be awakened. It doesn't matter how much they made you believe you were worthless. It doesn't matter how much they emptied you. The truth is that you can take back control, one step at a time, without forcing yourself, without judging yourself. Because real change begins right there, the moment you choose not to give up. When you realize that something inside has gone off. At some point, after all the pain you've experienced alongside a narcissist, you realize that something inside you has turned off. It's not just tiredness. It's not just sadness. It's as if you've lost contact with that part of you that once gave you energy, joy, the desire to do even the simplest things. Has this ever happened to you? Can you recognize yourself in these words? Let us know in the comments how long you've been feeling this way and where you're listening to us from. Your story could also speak to others who are experiencing the same emotions as you. And so every small daily gesture becomes enormous. Doing the dishes, tidying up the room, even deciding what you want for dinner. Everything weighs. Everything seems empty. But despite this, if you're listening to these words, it means that inside you there's still a part that hasn't given up. A part that wants to understand, to change, to take control of your life again. And this spark is your strength. Even if you don't feel it now, even if it seems far away, that light is still alive somewhere in you. How many times have you wanted to break this cycle? How many times have you said to yourself, I don't want to live like this anymore? Write it down if you want. Sharing is the first small step to start freeing yourself. Small steps to feel alive again. Maybe it seems impossible right now. Maybe you think you'll never go back to being the person you were before that toxic relationship. But I want to ask you, have you ever stopped for a moment to ask yourself what you really want? Not what others expect of you, not what your wounded mind tells you every day, but what do you, deep down, want? Write it in the comments if you like. Tell us, what's the first little thing you'd like to do again, if only you had the strength? Every word can be the seed of change. The truth is that no one heals overnight. No one gets out of a nightmare like the one you experienced with a narcissist simply by erasing the past. But you can start over. One small gesture at a time. A small action. A small victory. Even just getting up and deciding to do those dishes that seem as heavy as boulders. Even just opening the window and breathing. Because every small step is a signal to your mind, I'm coming back. And you don't have to do it for others. You have to do it for yourself. Because you deserve to feel alive again. You deserve to take back your life, even if it seems difficult now. You're not here by chance. If you are hearing these words, it is no coincidence. Maybe something inside you brought you here, something that got tired of suffering in silence, something that no longer wants to accept living halfway. How many times have you felt stuck, as if your life was stopped, frozen in a time that no longer belongs to you? And how many times have you wanted to change, but fear, pain or guilt kept you nailed to the starting point? Tell us about yourself in the comments. How long have you been living in this situation? What is the thing that weighs on you the most right now? Don't be ashamed to share. Every word you write can become an extra push for someone else, and especially for yourself. You are not here by chance, and you are not even here just to listen to words. You are here because something inside you wants to heal, be reborn, come back to life. And even if it seems impossible, I assure you that it is not. But before I reveal to you how you can actually start this change, let me tell you something important. But before I reveal to you how you can really start this change, I want to tell you something important. Many people who have found themselves exactly where you are now have chosen not to stop. They have decided to take the first step, to take back their lives and leave the pain behind. Some of them have already undertaken the path of mind flow, a profound journey that has helped them overcome this phase of blockage and find themselves again. And many of these people have also chosen to support this channel with a super thank you, because here they have found not only words, but tools and authentic understanding. If you feel that these words speak to you, if you really want to change something inside you, you can do the same. You can start choosing yourself, even with a simple but meaningful gesture. And now let's get back to you, to your journey, because I want to show you how you can start freeing yourself from all this. Rebirth begins from within. Maybe now you are asking yourself, but how do you really get out of this invisible prison? How do you get your life back after a toxic relationship that has left you without strength, without trust, without hope? Have you ever asked yourself this? Tell us in the comments, what is the hardest part for you right now? Is it the fear, the loneliness, the sense of guilt? Where are you listening to us from? The truth is the healing does not come from the outside. It does not come from the person who hurt you. It does not come from the person who waits for you to go back to being the person you were before. Healing begins within you, when you choose to turn toward yourself and begin to cleanse your mind and soul of everything that has intoxicated you. And you don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to become someone else in a single day. Sometimes a tiny gesture is enough. Getting out of bed, opening a window, facing a small thing that yesterday seemed impossible. Because every step you take is a signal. I'm coming back to myself. And you don't have to do it for others. You have to do it for yourself, because you deserve to feel alive again. You deserve to take back your life, even if it seems difficult now. The first real step. There is a moment when something inside you changes. A moment when, even without realizing it, you stop asking yourself why all this happened to you and start asking yourself what I can do for myself now. Have you ever heard that little voice, even a faint one, that pushes you to react? Maybe you ignored it. Maybe you told yourself that you will never make it. But that voice, if you are here, is still alive. Tell us in the comments, what is the first little thing you would like to be able to do? Maybe it is to go back to washing those dishes, to tidying up your house. Or maybe it is something deeper, like believing in yourself again. It doesn't matter where you start from. What matters is that you decide not to stay still, that you choose to take that first step for yourself, not to prove something to someone, not to appear strong, but to find your breath, your lightness, your essence. And when you are ready, You can also choose to go further, but no one is chasing you. This is the time to start over, slowly, at your own pace. You don't have to do it alone. One of the biggest traps that victims of narcissistic abuse fall into is the belief that they have to do it alone, that they have to be strong, that they have to heal in silence, without bothering anyone, without asking for help. Have you ever felt this way? That you thought that no one would really understand what you're going through? Tell us about it in the comments, if you like. Sometimes, just writing it down can be a relief. But the truth is that no one saves themselves alone. Each of us needs a helping hand, a guide, someone or something that reminds us who we are when we're lost. This is why there are packs designed specifically for those like you who have experienced this suffering and finally want to free themselves from it. Paths that don't give you prepackaged answers but help you find yours again. It's like a circle that slowly opens, a circle of life that accompanies you step by step until you can breathe again, believe again, live again. It's not about changing everything in an instant. It's about choosing to start over. And this choice can be the greatest gift you can give yourself. Choosing yourself every day. Starting over is not a magic moment. It is not a stroke of luck. It is a choice that must be made every day, even when it seems impossible, even when the past pulls you back, even when your mind whispers that you will not make it. Have you ever felt this way? Balancing between the desire to change and the fear of not making it? Tell us in the comments, what is the biggest challenge for you right now? What is that thing that if you could overcome it would make you feel alive again? Because you know what? Every time you choose to listen to that part of you that wants to live, you are already changing. Every time you do a small gesture for yourself, you are already breaking the invisible chains that hold you down. You don't have to do it perfectly. You don't have to be strong every day. You just have to choose not to give up. And if one day you decide to take a deeper path to help you cleanse everything that this toxic relationship has left you inside, know that there are tools to do it. Tools that don't change you, but help you find yourself again. And it all starts with a simple decision: choosing yourself. The strength is already within you. I want you to know something that perhaps no one has ever told you until now. If you are here, if you are listening to these words, if inside you there is even just a spark that pushes you to look for answers, it means that you already have the strength to get out of all this. Maybe you feel weak, destroyed, empty, but the simple fact of having come this far, of not having given up completely, shows that an immense courage lives inside you. It is that courage that will allow you, one day after another, to breathe again, to choose again, to live again. Tell us in the comments, what is the sign that makes you feel that there is still hope inside you? What pushes you not to give up completely? Sharing can help you and those who are reading to feel less alone. Because change is not created by those who are already strong. If you've made it this far, know that it's no coincidence. It means that something inside you has already started to change. You've chosen to listen, to understand, and to open a pathway through the pain and confusion. And this is the first real step toward freedom. You don't have to do this alone. Here, we are a community of people who have found themselves exactly where you are right now. Individuals who have experienced toxic relationships, manipulation, narcissistic abuse, but who have chosen to prioritize themselves. That's why we invite you to subscribe to Chosen One's Awakening, to continue this journey together. Here, you will always find supportive words, tools to help you cleanse your mind and soul, and a place where you are no longer alone. And if you want to go further, if you feel it's time to truly make peace with the past and start living again, remember that you'll find the link in the description to begin your journey with us. Now, it's your turn. Choose yourself. Always. Sending you a big hug. See you soon.